Right, another 2 o'clock kickoff on the Sunday, and it is Leeds at home at Ellen Road to Norwich. The battle of the battlers, I'd probably call it. Both teams are on bad form. They've both lost their last 5 games. In those games, Leeds have conceded 20, which is an average of 4 goals a game. They lost 4-0 to Tottenham, they lost 6-0 to Liverpool. Even though they scored 2 against Man United managed to score 4. And Norwich, while conceding less goals, they're still not getting any wins. They've conceded 13 goals in their last 5 games. So they haven't, Norwich haven't really been getting battered, but they've still been losing, and it doesn't really help their cause. For me, Norwich are down, but with Leeds, they need to be careful because the way their form is going, you lose another couple and you're just stuck in the mire. I think previously I was speaking about Everton. I think Everton have been done a favour that Burnley and Leeds are on worse form than them, because especially Leeds. If Leeds won a couple of those games that I've just mentioned, Everton and Burnley are comfortably fighting the relegation while Leeds drift away. If I look at the demise of Leeds, I think it's down to the owners and not using their heads. Bielsa, we all know he's a great coach of football. He's taught some great coaches. He's taught some great players. But every football fan could see that he just wasn't learning. He just kept playing it the same way. And like Gary Neville alluded to, it went from exciting to just bad, because they were running around like headless chickens, but then teams were just picking them off. It was very easy to just dismantle Leeds because there was only one plan, which was just run around and have more energy. But there was coaches that were saying we don't need to try and match them for the energy, because if you try and match energy with Leeds, you will lose. But if you just play it over the top and play it in the small gaps and beat the press, you'll beat Leeds comfortably. And we saw that just against Liverpool and Tottenham respectively, they conceded 10 goals, which is, it doesn't matter where you are in the league, that's too much. I think there's teams in the Championship that wouldn't even do that. So, for me, Leeds really need to pick up the points, and it's not just in this game, games in general. I agree they do miss players. Calvin Phillips is a big miss. Bamford as well. I'm hearing that he might be back to fitness, but it's about the match sharpness. So hopefully he hits the ground running. If he doesn't, then Leeds are just going to be in the same sort of predicament, because no one's really took the mantle from scoring the goals, and the only person that's done that is Rafinha. And if Rafinha goes off form, I look around and think, well, who's scoring these goals? Dan James is playing up front and working his socks off, but he's not really scoring. Rodrigo, before he moved to Leeds, he was an established Spanish international. He's not scoring. So I think in this predicament, I think if you're a Leeds player, just the same way you're an Everton player, you just got to be stand up and be counted for. It's not about the pretty football anymore. It's about getting the result through hard work and listening to your coaches. So that's for Leeds. Norwich will probably look at it as if they're down, but again, there's a small glimmer of hope if they can win. From what I know, they can lift them off the bottom of the league and replace them with Watford. Watford are looking hopeless at the minute. They don't look like they're going to do anything. And Norwich, even though they look a bit more solid than they did under Daniel Farke, they're still losing games. So this is a tight game, and it could be anything, because I think the way that they play Leeds, the way they played under Bielsa, I think that's how they need to play this game. But again, Norwich are a good, decent footballing side, so they could just do what other teams have picked them off, and if they are clinical, they could win that game. But I watched Leeds against Leicester. They were a lot more solid, even though they lost the game. They were a bit more pragmatic in their approach. I think that's what they need to do going forward. I think the coach has recognised that, because he's not stupid. So I look at this game and think it's going to be a tight one, but I think Norwich are down. I think Leeds, they're going to get Ellen Road bouncing. They'll be singing the song, marching on together, and I think that would just give them something to work off. So I think it'll be a 2-1. And if Bamford does come back, I think he scores in the game and gives Leeds a bit of hope, that they can rely on him to score the goals and get them out of the trouble.